John, well, when it's time to get married, there are plenty of ways you can do it. There's the destination wedding, the small intimate affair, and of course the Las Vegas chapel, just to name a few.
Well, now people are also looking at different ways to get divorced. Wow, that took a turn. Celebrity divorce attorney Ann-Margaret Carrozza, that's a beautiful name, joins us to talk about the wacky ways people are saying goodbye. So, Ann, I want to talk to you about this. You think divorce, you think lawyer, and that's it. Now, what else are we thinking about and people doing?
Something has to give. Courts across the country are overburdened with an unending litany of divorce cases. And we know that they drag on for months and months and sometimes years. So people are becoming creative and coming up with innovative solutions.
Okay, so what about this divorce hotel that we're hearing about?
This is a little bit bizarre.
Okay.
Right now it's only in the Netherlands, and a couple can check into the hotel for 2 days, and there's a whole panoply of divorce experts, attorneys, mediators, valuation experts, and after 2 days of filing paperwork and going through all of these issues, the divorce is complete. It has to later be entered into a court, but they leave and it's complete.
Is it legal for Americans to go to the Netherlands to do this?
No, right now it's only available to Dutch citizens.
Okay.
But in terms of cost, you have to imagine that the couple, they're going to want separate rooms. So this is really going to increase the costs, I think, at the end of the day.
Seems weird.
Yeah, because you don't technically want to see that person, I think, whenever you're divorcing them. So, I don't know, it's a different way of doing things.
Stateside, are people hiring judges?
Well, that's a little bit of a misnomer. They're not hiring the actual judge that's in court, but they can hire a retired judge who acts almost like a mediator to help the couple to deal with some of the issues, and it would alleviate the need for them to hire private counsel. They would still have to go to an actual court to have the decree signed.
But the judge, the contract judge, so to speak, would get them to that process.
Exactly. It would deal with any property issues.
Okay, well, what about flying to a foreign country? People do it for surgery. What about divorce?
Yeah, medical tourism. Now we have divorce tourism. The Dominican Republic has been the destination for many of my clients, some of my friends. And you can go there, one party can go there and get a divorce.
But without the other's knowledge, or?
Well, the other party has to know about it.
Okay.
But I can go alone. I could claim my husband knows about it, and I can come back, and a decree will come in the mail.
Is that legal?
It is legal unless my husband claims he was not properly notified. So then he would come into a New York court to try and overturn the divorce decree.
But then do you want to stay with that person?
Exactly, exactly.
You know, by the way, I divorced you this
By the way,
weekend.
so it's the classic scene when you come home and the house is empty and there's a note, by the way, we're divorced.
Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, so now what about divorcing in one day? Is this possible?
This is a new and very innovative concept that I think has some promise. It's launched in California, Sacramento, and now San Diego have this option where a couple with no property issues and neither one of them are represented by counsel will sit down and a volunteer attorney will guide them through the paperwork.
Wow.
And they can get it done in one day.
That is, well,
wow.
I guess it's promising. I don't know if that's the thing that you could say about it.
A difficult word.
Or is it a sign of the times? Just because we have the court system all clogged up with this?
Well, it's a way for the court to triage the cases.
Yes.
So instead of a very simple, uncomplicated divorce languishing for 8 months and building up legal fees, it's a way to just deal with it.
Wow.
Well, Ann-Margaret Carrozza, thank you so much for coming to the couch and for informing us
what an
about
education.
Yes, sharing your knowledge on divorce. Thanks so much.